Y'all doing all right? Yes. Y'all been behaving? Yes. No time out? All right, good. We're the Ed Perkins group. We're representing the JIS Foundation out of New York. We got one of the representatives with us, Mr. Peter Baton. He's gonna be doing a little, taking some pictures and filming a little bit, so we're gonna have a good time. Gonna have a good time? Yes. Okay. We're gonna introduce some of the guys to you, and they're gonna introduce their instruments and talk to you a little bit about the instruments. So, listen up. All right, how are you? Good. My name is Don Evans. How many of you know Mrs. Evans? She teaches 3rd grade. Anybody know Miss Evans? Raise your hand if you know Miss Evans. Well, I'm Mrs. Evans' husband. So when you see her say, I want you to say, we saw your husband playing saxophone. This is a saxophone. How many of you have ever seen a saxophone before? Good. This is one of the main instruments in jazz. One of the main wind instruments. We call it a wind instrument because you have to blow in it to get a sound. And let me let you hear what it sounds like. Like that kind of sound? Yeah, it's good sound. It's kind of bluesy sound. Now this particular instrument is called a tenor saxophone. Can you say that? All right. And they also have an alto saxophone, which is a little bit smaller than this. And then the straight saxophone that you see is called a soprano saxophone. It's not bent, it's just straight. So we have 3 saxophones that you may see in any jazz set, and these are very popular. Now I'm going to turn you over to Mr. Andy Bourgeois, who's on the keyboard. He's going to tell you something about his instrument.
How are y'all doing today? I want to show you what I got over here. I play piano. I also play saxophone, but today I play piano to help support Mr. Don Evans. And the good news, if you love the piano, lots of sounds come in small boxes these days. So this little red machine here has not only piano, it has electric pianos, it has old 70s, way before you guys were born, clavinets, and it's got what you hear in church a lot is organ. Now this little keyboard represents about 1,000 pounds worth of keyboards. So the good news, you all have to do is carry this little small 18-pound keyboard to your gigs. And up here today we don't have a drummer, but I have one in a box. And this is him up here. He has lots of different beats that we can pull from for jazz and dance music, depending on what occasion we're going to play for.
The only musician we don't have to pay for.
That's right. If I show up on time, he does too. So I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Harry Anderson on the bass.
Good afternoon. My name is Harry Anderson, and today I'm playing electric bass. And this particular electric bass has 6 strings. The first electric basses only had 4, but everybody wanted to get it lower and lower and lower sound, especially in today's times when you hear somebody driving down the street and they trunk rap. You know what I'm talking about? Boom, boom. That's these low strings on here. But traditionally, when jazz first started, most of the bass was played on a tuba. Everybody know what a tuba is? The big instrument that you see with the big bell up at the top. As a tuba, then they have what's called the string bass, which is in the violin family. The bass violin is called the string bass, upright bass, stand-up bass. That's the big one where you see them standing. But then, because of the size of it, it got kind of hard carrying it around to all the gigs. And you know, when you're traveling in a car with 4 or 5 other people, and you only have one car, and you got drums and everything else in there, they start carrying the electric bass. So now the electric bass has taken the place, hadn't taken the place of it, but you know, it's just been added to it. So I'm gonna play a little bit so you can hear what the bass sounds like in this traditional bass lines, and then I'll kind of switch it up a little bit and you'll hear what it sounds like in a more modern day. A lot of times today, you guys play more with their thumbs. It's called thumb. So that's the bass.
All right. We got anybody that plays instruments? Anybody? The piano? What you play? Jazz is a style of music. Jazz is America's only art form. This is the only art form that America can brag about. This music is played all over the world, and the music was started right here in Louisiana. And we have people like Louis Armstrong. How many of you have heard of Louis Armstrong?
That was on y'all leaflet. You better know.
Who can tell me what instrument Louis Armstrong played? He was a trumpet player. He played trumpet, but he is known all over the world as one of the greatest jazz trumpet players that ever came about. So when we ask you if you know of a trumpet player, with the piano is playing, we call that improvising. Can you say that word? Yeah. Whenever you hear what we call taking a solo, Guess you're wondering where I've been. I searched to find the love within. Come on, y'all. Yes, indeed. Y'all enjoyed that? You ever hear that on the radio? Ah, you hear that hip-hop version all the time. Now, that's the jazz version. We're going to do a thing now called the second line. Y'all know the second line? You know the Saints? All right, y'all can stand up. Now stand up in your place. Right here, come on. Well, I went on down to the autumn fruit, and they all asked for you.